Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watchman is here with your latest updates on the tropics and our off-season discussion. Today, we'll be doing that and talking about some stuff going on in the world of weather over in the United States. But for now, I want to talk about, there's always this time, no matter what time it is, it's always cyclone season in one place or another. And in this time, it is in the South Pacific and in the Southern Hemisphere. As you can see, we do have Cody here, 45 knots, about 50 miles per hour. It is going to completely miss all the other islands. It's going to be moving away from New Zealand. It's not going to impact New Zealand. It might actually intensify up to 60 miles per hour. Right now, it's got winds of about 50 miles per hour. As you can see, 45 knots, about 50 miles an hour. And it may even get even stronger, up to 55 to 60 miles per hour. So that's something we're going to closely monitor for sure. And Tiffany making its way into intensifying some more. It has now got winds of 50 miles an hour as it continues to intensify. Look at that convection. Look at the rising motion in the atmosphere there. Deep, deep, deep convection. I'm talking negative 80, negative 85, even at times negative 90 degrees centigrade cloud tops there. Huge amounts of rain falling from this storm, causing huge amounts of flooding. Look at all this convection happening even over land here. Very, very intense. Going to be making landfall here shortly, as you can clearly see right there. So huge amount of convection. Lots of flooding there. Winds up to 50, 55 miles per hour probably. I want to just really incredible there. I really want to just take a look and see how strongly you're still expecting this to get. They're saying this is going to be its peak. It might actually get a little bit stronger. It's at 50 miles an hour. It may even reach 55 or possibly even 60 miles per hour upon landfall there in northern Australia. Very heavy amounts of rain there. Huge amounts of flooding damages going on there. And it's going to go deep into the heart of Australia. So again, here is, as you can see, nothing in the South Indian Ocean. But we do have Tiffany there. Going to be making landfall in Australia soon. And as you can see, Cody down there is quickly falling apart. Might strengthen a little bit, but I don't think anything other than that. But that's what we're looking at in terms of the world of weather. In the tropics now, I do want to go over and look at our forecast models because earlier on, there's a possibility. I have to go to the other update. Actually, I might actually be able to use this latest run because there's, in fact, believe it or not, the possibility of a bomb cyclone developing. Now, I want you to watch this area. I should have my I don't have my apps open. Maybe it's here. I need my Epic Pen. Not TikTok. Hold up. There we go. So I do want to talk about, so there's this area of low pressure going to probably develop somewhere off the southeast coast of the United States. I really want to put this in motion. As you can see, as you can kind of see, it develops right here, 1,008 millibars. I actually have to zoom out to the North Atlantic, mainly because it goes so far east, So as you can kind of see, look at that. 1,000 millibars, 996, 983, 975, 960. So, I mean, this could possibly become a bomb cyclone. We'll have to closely monitor it. There were models earlier on showing that it could become a little bit even, even more powerful and farther west, but they're shifting it off to the east. We'll have to closely watch and monitor what this does, just because if this makes landfall farther to the west, I mean, you're going to have really strong winds whipping in from you're gonna have really strong winds coming in from that northeast, coming in like this, and it's gonna bring, could even produce some storm surge problems up in northeast United States. So that is certainly going to be a problem we're gonna watch. And then, and this other system, we'll have to closely monitor what it does. This, does this come farther south? Now, I really want to show y'all right here. There's this trough going on right here, all right? We kind of have a ridge right here right now. There's a ridge right here. There's a bit of a trough right here. There's a ridge right here. So ridge, There's a ridge, there's a trough, there's a ridge. And generally that can be the pattern. I need to clear this. Hold up. You're right here. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, Jesus. The high pressure moves. Area of low pressure develops right here. I want to actually zoom into this region. Perfect. So as you can kind of see, there is appears to be some ridging going, or a trough sort of right here. We have this cluster of thunderstorms developing right here. It has a cold core system, so it's a mid-latitude storm, where the air pressure mid to upper level, in the upper levels, mid to upper levels of the atmosphere is where this low pressure system is at. You get this. You have incredibly cold air. You have incredibly warm air from the western Atlantic. You get the warm air mixing in with the cool air, and that's how you can get these bomb cyclones. A deep pressure gradient and a deep temperature gradient. So, I mean, you got incredibly cold temperatures up here, the Arctic air from Canada, and you got warm temperatures of the Gulf and Western Atlantic and the Caribbean Sea right there. So, incredibly cold area right there, and incredibly warm. Lower pressure here, much higher pressure up here. So a big pressure gradient and a big temperature gradient. You get that going, you can really get a an upper level low developing, and what it's going to do is going to try to become tropical. But because the temperatures are so cold, I actually want to go on over to that right now. Because the temperatures are so much colder, it's not going to be able to really become. It's not going to really become. It won't be able to develop into a tropical, so we will not actually be able to transition. We still have very, very warm water temperatures, 80 degrees down here, 80, 81 through here. Very, very warm for the Gulf of Mexico this time of the year. Even right off the coast of the off the coast of Florida, 80 degrees there. About 75 degrees off the coast of the Carolinas. All right, 75, 80 degrees throughout most of the Gulf of Mexico. So the temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico are incredibly warm. There's even a cold spot here off the coast of Nicaragua and Honduras. And Panama. No, Costa Rica. This is Costa Rica. This is Panama. I'm trying. Don't forget. And so you're going to have a cold front, which is going to come through. And there's going to be this trough right here. But this area of low pressure is going to develop here. So you're going to have very, very warm water. And you're going to have very, very cold temperatures from the Arctic. That two mixed together can create an upper level low, which can become very, very dangerous because it can produce a lot of convection, a lot of strong winds, and it can be very bad. So I really want to emphasize that. Depends on, now, because there's, it appears, because there's high pressure here. All right, you notice there's high pressure here, 1,043 millibars. All right, look at that, 1,043 millibars. That's pretty high air pressure. This is going to intensify because the pressure gradient here and the pressure gradient here is so intense. 983 and 1,043. That's a pretty big difference. That comes there. This could really intensify very quickly. Lots of convection here. Lots of intensity. Could intensify rather quickly. As you can see, it does indeed try to intensify rather quickly. There's like 960 millibars. So this is going to really intensify in Atlantic, Maritime, Canada area. Heavy snow here. I wouldn't be surprised. Blizzard conditions, winds of 60 to 70 mile an hour, sustained winds with winds gusting to over 80 miles an hour. Really wouldn't surprise me at all if that happens. I'm really intrigued to see what those winds are. Now, this is at the surface. So, this is right off the coast of Canada, where we're seeing those winds very, very strong. Look at that. They're 52 knots. That's 60 miles an hour there. So, I do certainly think this could become something. Look how quickly that intensifies. So, that's certainly, we could be dealing with the bomb cyclone developing here. Now, this, again, right here is a 90 hours out. If we go to current time, again, 90 hours out. Saturday, January 15th, 2022. If we go to more current times, this right here where an area low pressure does intend to develop, that's still 60 hours out. That's not until Friday. But right now, we're not seeing anything. So here it is right here. January 11th. Yeah, it is 11th. I literally forgot it was 11th. So, I mean, this could become something. And again, we go where the storm develops. 1,042 millibars is where that high pressure is at. It gets closer and it intensifies, or it gets larger. And as that happens, right when it's making landfall, 960 millibars roughly, 1,045 millibars, so a big temperature gradient, a big air pressure gradient right there. Right there. Relatively the wind gradient right here. Look how tight. This is generally loose right here. But right here where the winds really begin to pick up is where those wind gradients and pressure gradients really get bigger. Something I'm watching out for. This is still coming out. The last update was showing some now this again was over 380 hours out. 350 plus hours out. And they were possibly showing some wintry precipitation making its way into south central United States. Now, again, this is incredibly far out. This is unreliable. It's not in this update yet. If I go to the other update. That's something that I am a little worried about, but not super worried about, because usually when something is 250, 200, 250, 300, 350, 384 plus hours out, it's 100% unreliable. Never comes true, practically. Now, yes, there are those rare times where it does, but just seeing this, I am watching it. We're talking South Texas, Southern Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, even possibility for portions of extreme western Florida could see a little bit of wintry precipitation. Now, again, if this does occur, I will keep you updated. Given that I live in Southeast Texas, I literally live in the city of Houston, so I will definitely give updates if this does occur. Again, this is over 300 hours out. More than likely will not happen. So I'm going to see what the 00Z was showing, because I'm kind of curious. I was showing a little bit there. Winter precipitation in central western Texas here. Some snow, some sleet, and some freezing rain, even in portions of southern New Mexico there. Possibility of that. But quickly it fizzles out because it's just too warm to support that. Temperatures probably, I'm assuming, in the mid to upper 30s in this area, where generally from the latest run, mainly showing incredibly basically cold rain. Now this right here was a little bit concerning. Showing snow, as you can see, snow for all of South Texas, sleet, heavy amount of snow. Now again, obviously, if this occurs, I'll certainly keep you updated. The latest update does not show that. Now again, this is for South Central United States, for again Texas. So I mean, this could come relatively far south. Generally, heavy amount of snow, I think. We're talking 2-3 inches of snow per. I think this is per hour, right? No, millimeters. That ain't hardly anything. 3 millimeters an hour. How is this in millimeters? Okay, well, okay then. It's fine. Whatever. I am curious to show the total amount of snowfall. So generally, this is in inches. Now for central portions of Texas. Now this more than likely will not happen. All right, I'm putting that out there. This will not happen. But in the case that it does happen, I just want to say we're watching it. I'm watching carefully. For portions of central Texas, up to 7 inches of snow. Again, this is not likely, but it's possible. The possibility, I'm giving it less than 2% chance of happening. 2 to 3% chance of happening. The closer that this shows to the current time period, not 300 hours out, maybe 150 hours out, and they're still showing this, then I'll become concerned. If it's 150 hours or sooner, be a concern. 150 and out, don't worry about it. 200 hours out, 300 hours out, 384 hours out, don't worry about it. But in the off chance that this happens, again, 6 to 7 inches of snow for central Texas. 5 to 6 inches of snow for farther northern Texas, Amarillo. Dallas could see 1 to 2 inches of snow. Abilene, 3 to 4 inches of snow. I almost said Mexico City. Oklahoma City, maybe 1.5 to 2 inches of snow. 2.5 inches of snow is possible. Portions of northern and northwestern Arkansas, 10 inches of snow. Maybe 12 inches of snow. Northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas, 7, 8, 9, maybe in 10 inches of snow. Northern New Mexico near Santa Fe, New Mexico. Las Vegas, New Mexico. There was another town. I can't think of it. I can't remember it. 16, 10, 15, 16, maybe even 20 inches of snow if this plays out, which it most likely won't. Tennessee and Kentucky, 8, 5, 6, half a foot of snow is possible if this plays out. If this plays out, which it more than likely won't, but if not, now again, in the off chance that it does, I want to keep everyone updated. Because this is very, very rare that we do get 7 inches of snow in Central Texas. Incredibly rare. Now again, 1 to 1.5 inches of snow for portions of Southeast Texas. 1 inch, half an inch for areas of Beaumont. Now again, because this is so far out, this more than likely will not actually happen. But in the off case that this does happen, I want to keep everyone posted. I want to keep everyone updated. I want everyone to be prepared. We'll talk about this. I do want to look at the other regions. I just want to do an over show of the entire area right now. Huge amounts of snow, 27, 26. Now, I do want to go to the latest forecast run. Look at this, 15 inches of snow, 11 inches of snow. Now, this is 174 hours out. Again, you can literally see where the jet stream is at and where the winter storms are coming through. Boom, jet stream right through here. You can clearly see it. Let me actually change this color to, like, I guess black. You can evidently see ridging over here. Generally ridging, which means you're going to have a ridge, a trough, which means you're going to have low pressure. You got very, very cold temperatures in this area. They're just going to swoop down here. Very, very, very cold temperatures down in this area. And you're going to have winter storms coming through here. 10, 16 inches, 15 inches, up to 20 inches of snow in some areas if you have to be unlucky. I cannot emphasize this enough. This will more than likely not happen. But in the off case, in the case that this does happen, I will keep everyone updated. 10, 15 inches of snow for portions of South Carolina, North Carolina. 10, I'm just saying the possibilities. I don't see it happening. I don't really see anything like this happening. So really, right now, what I'm really worried about is the upper level. So you notice this does seem farther to the east, but still bringing very strong winds. This really gets developed and could bring a huge, and I mean a genuinely and generally a huge amount of snow to areas. Let's just point it out. You can clearly see where the jet stream is at, coming pretty far south. So we're talking, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, D.C. area, definitely Pennsylvania. Look at the snow that Pennsylvania gets right there. It could be a storm right here? All that. So we're really going to be watching these storms. Could be something we need to watch out for if this happens. I'm a little bit concerned. Very going to be closely watching this and closely monitoring it in the future. Now, if you have any other comments, questions, or concerns, go in this video and go in the comment section. Feel free to comment anything that you are concerned about. We'll continue to give updates about the potential of an upcoming bomb cyclone in the future. And with all that being said, have a wonderful rest of your morning. And I'll talk to you guys later tomorrow. Peace out.